Welcome back to Brand Champions, brought to you by the Teal Agency. I'm Howard Wolpoff, your host. Here we're going to be talking about branding, all the messages that go into creating a very strong brand, and with some great experts that really know what they're talking about. And speaking of which, I have my co-host Janine Hogan with me today. And Janine, welcome to this conversation.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to always have you here and our guests, which we'll get to in a moment. But very quickly, when it comes to branding, what are some of the challenges that people have to really get their story out within their brand?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges that we see is they know the problems that they're solving and what their target audience needs, but they don't always know how to communicate it. So they really need to focus on developing a strong value proposition and the right messaging towards the right audience. I think that helps a lot.
I think it helps a lot as well. And it's a good thing we have two people who understand about messaging. So we're very happy to have Melanie Heym from the Melanie Heym Personal Branding, and Stephen Cuccio from Mabley. And we're so happy to have you. Melanie, quick question for you. We're going to start with, what do you think the most important thing is in representing a company within their brand?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure. So it's very important, as a company to have your own voice, to have your own kind of brand DNA, your own storyline, what you stand for. And it's very important to have that clear. So if you bring that across, with a lot of authenticity, and also employees that are really, passionate about what they do, it becomes really successful.
It really does make a big difference when you have that right focus in creating that message for them. Now, Stephen, when it comes to the imagery, how important is it to create a really standout image to go along with the brand that you're trying to message for these companies?
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I think it really needs to resonate with the market, and that image is your first forte into trying to communicate, to Melanie's point. The more that you can communicate and do that visually, the quicker that'll resonate with your target market, and the more you'll be able to impact and help people.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's really critical that the visuals align with the message too. So how do you keep your clients in their lane to make sure that that the visuals, the graphics, all the colors are aligning with their brand message?
Yeah, that's a great point too. I think it really has to do with your brand story and identifying that true target market. So conducting the correct amount of research to make sure that it matches up to the storyline, and you can meet the consumers essentially halfway with that imagery, and then ultimately creating the content plan that has to do with that messaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. And Melanie, for you, I have a question. I know you work a lot with personal brands. What are you finding individuals struggle with when knowing what story it is that they want to tell for their own brands?
Yeah, see, as I mostly work with women, and it's kind of a struggle, to really give yourself permission first to be seen. I think that's the first point. Since a lot of women struggle with this topic, actually. And also they think, their story and what they have to say, their value is not as relevant as it is. And they're saying, yeah, there are so many experts out there, so many people that are talking about topic X, Y, Z. Why should anyone listen to me? And so my approach to this is really bold visibility. Really go out there, show yourself the way you are. You have this one life. So really go out there and show yourself.
That's great. Really great.
It's a very strong statement and really helps with the energy of the company and the people behind it. So I appreciate that. One final question for both of you. What do you think there is more value in, having a strong color to your logo or having a really strong slogan, tagline that goes along with the company? Stephen, what are your thoughts?
I'm a big content person as it pertains to messaging. So I think the slogan really resonates if it can roll off the tongue and you can really match that up. Again, going back to what the consumers are looking for, to me, that resonates a little bit more than color scheme.
And Melanie, your thoughts?
I think both are actually equally important. It's important to have your message very clear, very short on point, but also color should not be underestimated. As my brand color is orange, as you see, I really play with it and people recognize it. It makes your brand more recognizable and also a little bit more fun. It depends on the color, of course.
I think key overall is just standing out in a strong positive way, and it's good to see that you do that or both of you really do that for your clients and the work that you put out to get their brand out. So we thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thank you all for joining us as well. Having that strong color, having that bold statement, having that really catchy tagline, it's all important. It's all, there's a value to it, to the messaging that you're providing to your clients. Go find the right person to make sure that they are providing you with that to go out in the business world. For my co-host Janine Hogan, I'm Howard Wolpoff. Go out, have a great rest of today, and we will see you next time.